Yo guys, we are back, and after this crazy weekend with the Trump token and the Melania token, I thought it was a great idea to create some kind of crypto Twitter tracker or crypto X tracker. I know it's a really requested tool because also the X API is really expensive. So in today's video I will show you how you should track the tweets and also an alternative way how you actually can get this information off Twitter. Now, if you think this is interesting, leave a like to this video, and also I will output the data from these Twitter feeds or the data from all these tweets related to crypto in our crypto tracker channel. So if you're not in Discord yet, I will leave the link in the description and I hope to see you there. Alright guys, before we jump into the code base, I want to show you an overview on how a crypto tracker could look like. So we will have this function called a crypto Twitter tracker, which will run every minute or every 5 minutes. You can choose that yourself. And once it starts, it will initialize our Discord GS and make sure that our Discord bot is actually live. So what this will do is at first run, it will log in the bot, so it is appearing in our Discord so that it is actually online. Now, if it's not the first run, then it will skip this. It will see that it's already initiated, and it will take all these accounts or Twitter accounts that we want to follow from a file called config.js. Now, next we will take these accounts and we will take the handle and also the username, and then we will parse it into Puppeteer. And Puppeteer is actually a web scraper. Now, if you want to buy the X API, you can replace this by an actual API call that will call the X API and get the Twitter feeds back. If you don't want to do that, you can opt for a scraper like Puppeteer, which will create a virtual browser for you, go to X for each account and take the tweets from the page and also provide them back to you. Now, if you use the API or you use Puppeteer like for web scraping, once these posts are returned to us, then we will check if it's a tweet or a retweet, and we will also check in our database if we already have this certain tweet, because this will return like a whole list of tweets based on the account here. So if we would, for example, have the Elon Musk account, we will go to his page, take all his tweets, and it will return all the different tweets to us and also retweets. And then we will check here like, hey, do we already have this tweet in our database or not? And if we don't have it in our database, that means it's a new post. And then we will also again use Discord.js to create some kind of message, and via the Discord API, via our bot that was already initiated, output it in our Discord channel. Now, if it was a tweet that was already outputted in Discord, so it's not a new tweet, then we will just move on to the next account. And this can be any account, for example, Donald Trump, and we will do the same thing. We will go to his webpage from Donald Trump, or we ask the X API to get the tweets from Trump, get back all these tweets and do the same thing. Do we already have this tweet? Yes. Next account, we don't have this tweet in our database yet. Then we will create a message and send it to our Discord. And also, of course, save it in our local database. So next time that we get the tweets back, we can confirm if we already have it. So that's how our crypto tracker will work. And I will try to come back to this diagram once we are looking at the code, so I can show you where exactly in the process we are. And it will hopefully make it a bit more, understandable for you guys. Alright, before we jump into the actual code base, I want to show you what we will build. And I can start this tracker by typing npm run and then bot Twitter. And this will start the bot for us, and also make sure that we are connected to Discord. And here you can see that it goes to the Elon Musk page. It takes all the tweets. Then it will store them in our database. As you can see, you found 3 new tweets. We're going to Donald Trump page in this case. We are also taking new tweets, and if there are any new tweets, we store them in our database. Then we will go to the CZ page, also a prominent figure in crypto Twitter. And next we will also go to a page related to crypto, for example, Wall Street bets. We check if there's any new tweets on this page. And we will do the same for one more page, I think, set up in my config. which is Alex Becker. So also we go into his page and we check if there is any new tweets there. And you see it's stored in database, which means there is in total 4 new tweets. And it will output that in any, like 4 new tweets. And then once it collected all these tweets, it pushes them out to our Discord. And that's what you can see here in our channel. These are the 4 new tweets. So 3 from Elon Musk and then 1 from Alex Becker. And these tweets are actually new tweets. So if you click on this, you can go to the page here and you can actually see that page. So this is the Twitter tracker, how it works now. Eventually, I will add some kind of logic check using AI to see if it's related to crypto, or if we only add crypto-related accounts, then we can output them in there. But that's how the tracker works for now, and that's how we will build in this video. All right, so once we started that start command, it will start the bot Twitter TS file, and there we run our main function. And main is the function that we will run every 5 minutes, every minute, and choose how often you run that, of course. Now, the first thing it will do is check if the Discord client and bot channel where we want to output the tweets is already initiated. Because by default, you can see that it is 0. So if it's not initiated, then we will do the initial initiation and we will provide a Discord channel. The Discord channel is actually stored in my file here. And I can show you what I mean. I have Discord channels here stored for prod and dev. And the Discord IDs you can find by going to Discord. And then you can click on a channel here and then copy ID. And that is actually the ID of the channel that you then want to post in here, where the bot will post for you. Of course, you need to join the bot to your server, but once it's there and it has access to that channel, you can just use these channels IDs. So next is the Discord bot, and here we need the bot token, and that bot token that you can get by going to the Discord developer platform, and there you can create a new application, a new bot, and that will provide you the token actually. So once Discord is ready to be initiated, we take these 2 values and we send it into a function called initialize Discord, and that function I created up here. So what that will do is take these 2 inputs that we gave it, it will check that we received them, and then it will take the Discord client or create a Discord client based on some intents that we specify. And here the intents that we want to give it is to, for example, listen and to messages and also send messages. Now, this is not a video on Discord per se, but I just want to show you what it does. So next, we take that client and we take the bot token that we gave it and we try to log in. And then we wait for a event, or we create an event listener for this Discord client. And once that it's ready, then we will say hey, the bot is now connected. And the bot channel is created based on the bot channel ID that we provided here. And that's when you will see that the bot is actually starting to be online in Discord. And I can show you what I mean. Once it's logged in, then you will see the bot appear here in Discord like it is actually online. So that's the initial initiation for the Discord bot that we will only do once, because now that it does this, it will store the Discord client and the bot channel values. So next time we run main, it will skip over this and we can just use our existing connection. So the next thing we will do is get all the accounts that we want to follow. And this is stored in a config file, as you can see here. Config, I have a few accounts listed here, but you can add the accounts that you want to follow, of course. You just need to provide the name and the handle. So that's what we do here. We get all these accounts in, and then we create a string array to store our Discord messages in, or the posts that we will get back. So next, what we need to do is take all these accounts and we need to loop through these accounts, because we want to handle these accounts one by one. And what we do is we take the handle and the name from our config. So these values here, handle and name, we extract them so we can use them in our function. And here we just check, do we have a handle and a name? If not, then we go to the next account. If we both have these, then it's fine and we move on. And then we just output like, hey, now we are checking the posts for this account. So checking the posts for that account, in this video we are using Puppeteer. So I created a function for that where I just provided the name and the handle, and I called it a function getXAccount latest posts. And that function is also created here on top. And what that does is just using Puppeteer to create a virtual browser, as you saw in the demo, and then take these posts. So what it does is it initiates the browser also the same way as it starts Discord. It checks if it's already set up. And if we don't have a browser environment, then it will run the initiate browser. And this is just taking some parameters. Like, for example, do I want to run this browser headless? Do I want to see the browser pop up or not? Also the execution path and the directory folder, and these are also stored in config. And this is really handy to specify, so you can already log in into the browser in X and then just say, hey, use this browser. I'm already logged in there. Here you can find the user data, so then you don't have to program the logic for Puppeteer to log in. It just opens the browser and Twitter is already logged in. Next, you specify if you want to have it maximized, and also some other options to make the virtual browser appear in a maximized way or not. So once you have provided all this information, you can create a browser instance by using Puppeteer Launch, and that will store the browser instance for you in the browser variable. And this browser instance you can then also use to do actions against. So you can say, hey, I want to create a new page. So that's what you saw in the demo. It opens the browser and it creates a new page. And on this page, I want to go to x.com and I want to take this handle. So that's the handle that we provided here. So once it's on this page, we just wait 5 seconds to make sure that the page is loaded, that all the tweets are on the page. And then we will start to filter for the links or for the actual posts. And that's where the work comes in. So what we do here is we evaluate the page, and what we want to look for is a certain div that contains the words timeline and then the name of the user and posts. And then we take that div and we look for all the links in that div, because we know by inspecting the page that all these links in that div, they are actually links to, let's say, posts that they posted. Now, once we have these links, we just want to filter out a few things. We don't want to look at links that have the analytics. We don't want to look at links that have photo in it. We just want to look at links that include status, because we know these are links that are linking to the posts that the people actually posted. So once we have these links, we return them and we store them in filtered links. We close our browser instance, we make sure that it's null, and we return these links. So that will just return all the links from the posts that that user created. And that's what we get back here. So latest posts, here we will receive all these links. And if we didn't receive any links, then we just skip and we go to the next account. But if we received links from posts, then we want to go through them, because we want to make sure that it is the right link. And I can show you what I mean. If I would, for example, go to Twitter and I would click on this post here for myself, you will see that it has status and an ID. And that's what we are actually checking here for. Like, hey, does this link match x.com, status and ID? And if that's the case, then we take the handle from the URL, we take the ID, and if the handle from the URL is the same as the handle that we are currently looking at, then we know if it's a tweet. If it's different, then it's a retweet. I can show you what I mean. If I go here, and for example, we would go to Elon Musk. You see here these things Elon Musk reposted. So this is a post from him. And if you click on it, it will have his handle in here. But if you click on a repost, then you will see that it is actually the handle from the repost. So that's what we do here. We check if it's the handle from the person that we're looking at, or is it a different handle. And that's how we actually know if it's a tweet or a retweet. So now we just create a value to store these tweets in. And then we just check again, we do some checking. Is it an ID? Is it an actual ID? Is the handle a string? And then we go to our database and we check if we already have that post. So how do we do that? We have an extra function for this. It's called select post exists by ID. We provided the ID from the post that we extracted, and then we go to this function. And here we just check in our database, like, hey, does this post already exist? And if it exists, then we return it. And if it doesn't exist, then we just return an empty array. So that's what we do here. So if the post exists, so it returns something because the length is not null, then we continue. We don't want to do anything. That post was already handled. We send it to Discord. We want to move on to the next post. However, if it's a new post, then we check if it's a retweet or not. And if it's a retweet, then we have a bit of a slightly different message and we say like, hey, Elon Musk retweeted this user, and this is the link. Otherwise, we say Elon Musk tweeted this. And that's our message, and we push it to our Discord messages string, and we move on. So we create a timestamp, and then we make a nice object here with all the information like the post ID, the content, it's pinned, and we take this this object, and then we also store it in our database. And also for that we have an extra function here, insert new post. And what we do here is taking all this information that we just provided by the new post object that we created, and we store it in our database by using insert into posts. Because that's really handy, remember, because the first thing we do here is check, do we already have this post? And next time, if we receive this post, we will have it because that's what we do here. We store it. So next time, if we come along this post again, we do have it and we ignore it. Otherwise, we add it to our messages here. So if we went through all the posts, that's what we do here. And we went through all the accounts. And the next thing we need to do is take these posts that we just received, the new ones, and we need to output them in Discord, of course. That's what we do here. If we do have new messages, so that means it's not null, and we have a valid bot channel, which was initiated in our Discord initiation, then we can say like, hey, we received so much new tweets, and I want you to send these new messages to Discord. And for that, we also have a separate function. It's called send message on Discord. We just provide the bot channel that was initiated for us, so the bot knows where to send the messages to, and the array with Discord messages. And I can show you how that looks. This is the function that we use for that. It's the bot channel where we will send, and the messages, which is a string. And then for each message that we have, we will send the message to Discord using our bot channel. And we say this bot channel sent this message, so each message that it goes through, to Discord. And then just output like, hey, I just sent this message, or I failed to send this message. And that's what it does here. Outputting all these messages in Discord. And then, if that is all done, then we just say, hey, I want you to trigger this exact same function again in 1 minute or 5 minutes. And that's also stored in the config file here. So in config file, tracker timeout 30,000, which means 1 minute for now. So you can also specify to run it headless, which means if it's true, it will run the virtual browser in the background, so you won't see it. If it's false, you will see the browser pop up. So that's also something that you can choose to do. And that's how we track certain accounts on Twitter with using Puppeteer. But ideally, you should use something like the X API, and I have an example here for you with a call. And here we just provide the ID from Elon Musk, and we ask his Twitters or his posts up, and then you get the same exact feed of posts back from this account. Instead of going and using Puppeteer and scrape the posts, you get back the posts in a more structured message. But if you can see, if I would run this again, it will take them. But then if I would run it again, it will say too many requests, because the free account only can do one request in 15 minutes. and that's often not sufficient enough for tracking Twitter real time. So this is a really good example on an alternative that you can use. But I want to say, if you do this or you try this, don't use your own account. I mean, scraping itself is not illegal. It's all fine as long as you don't disturb the platform, you know, so you don't have to send 1,000 requests at once. Then you will be fine probably, but otherwise your account can get flagged, it can get banned, temporarily locked. So if you try this, don't do it with your own account, create a separate account that you can play with. But again, you should always try to use the X API, because there you know you can send an X amount of requests and your account will be fine. So with that said, that's how we track the tweets in Twitter for all kind of crypto accounts, and that's how we send it to Discord. So again, if you think this was interesting, leave a like. Also put your questions in the comments or join Discord, because there is also a lot of people there that can help you out with all kind of questions. Again, I will put a link in the description and I hope to see you there. So that's it for today, and I'll see you in the next one.